Many men do not take their blood pressure medication, and the reason why they don't do that is because they say that the BP medication makes them perform poorly in bed. In other words, their sexual prowess is reduced once they start taking their BP medication. Alright guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Kelvin, and if you are new to my channel, I'm a wellness consultant, which means your health is my topmost priority. And on this channel, we talk a lot about health, especially men's health. My goal is to get our men to take more interest in things that concern their health, because statistically, men just are terrible at their own health. And so one of my goals is to help men to become a bit more health conscious so that we can live a bit longer, because again, statistically, unfortunately, we die too early. So we don't want that to happen from now on. So if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, do subscribe, hit the subscribe button and activate the notification icon so that every time new content comes up, you get notified. Very important. Now in today's video, we are going to be discussing the effect of hypertension on your sex life as a man. Yeah. Hypertension, as you're well aware, is persistently elevated blood pressure. Typically, blood pressure above 140/90 millimeters of mercury. You slap a big machine on your arm and the reading is 140/90 or above, you are said to be hypertensive. But indeed, hypertension actually begins much earlier than that level. Complications begin as early as 130/80. And that's why you need to pay attention to your BP as much as possible. The name silent killer has been given to hypertension for a good reason, because it will kill you if you don't pay attention to it. So please mind your blood pressure. Very important. But in today's video, we are discussing the impact of hypertension on your sex life. Many men do not take their blood pressure medication, and the reason why they don't do that is because they say that the BP medication makes them perform poorly in bed. In other words, their sexual prowess is reduced once they start taking their BP medication. What these men don't realize is that the disease hypertension itself will naturally destroy your sex life. And so it's important. You kind of have to choose between the devil and the deep blue sea. The disease is killing your sex drive. The treatment of the disease might affect your sex life. But the difference here is that when the treatment of the disease is the source of your sexual distress, we have ways and means of dealing with that. And so my advice as a wellness consultant would be, take the medication, control the blood pressure, and let's help you deal with the other effects, such as the poor sexual performance that you might experience when you start taking the BP medication. Very important. But like I said, here we are talking about the effect of the disease itself on your sex life. And one key way the disease actually affects your sex life is through the destruction of the blood vessels, the very blood vessels that are supposed to sustain your erection. Yes, you heard me right. Now, erection is purely a function of your pipe works. There are blood vessels in the penis, and when these blood vessels get engorged with blood, your penis becomes erect. And the longer these blood vessels stay engorged, the longer erection stays, so that you can perform to your satisfaction. So if there's anything affecting these blood vessels, then you're going to struggle with erection. And so hypertension can result in erectile dysfunction, and it does this in two ways. High blood pressure can cause injury to the veins in your penis. And once these veins become injured, cholesterol and other fats are deposited in these damaged blood vessels, leading to a condition called atherosclerosis, which results in a narrowing of these blood vessels and a reduction in the elasticity of the blood vessels. You know, the blood vessels are able to expand to accommodate the blood that's coming in. But when they become atherosclerotic, they're unable to expand anymore, and the plaque begins to build up, which narrows the blood vessels, which means that less blood is able to pass through. When you get into that situation, you begin to have challenges with erection, because like I said, if the blood struggles to fill the penile blood vessels, you will have slow onset of erection. If the blood does not stay in the penile vessels, then you're going to have erectile dysfunction, because the blood drains out and the penis becomes flaccid. And so atherosclerosis is something that we need to guard against. And one of the ways to guard against atherosclerosis is by controlling your blood pressure. Of course, the secondary way of preventing atherosclerosis is by monitoring our diet. If your diet is rich in cholesterol, you want to cut it down a bit so that you don't have so much cholesterol, especially the bad cholesterol, floating around your blood vessels to be deposited in these areas. So that's very important. That's the number one way hypertension will affect your sex life. The second way hypertension can affect your sex life is actually through a decrease in your libido. Now, libido is actually something that's mediated by testosterone. And testosterone is a hormone produced by your testes, and a little of it is produced elsewhere. So, but the major production center of testosterone is your testes. Now, what we don't know is whether the high blood pressure is directly inhibiting or preventing testosterone from functioning, which results in the low libido, or there's something else going on. But bottom line is, when you're hypertensive, and especially if your blood pressure is poorly controlled, your testosterone level also could be lower, which means that your libido will definitely go down. And so even if there was a woman in front of you ready to give you what you wanted, hey, there's no zeal, there's no, there's nothing kicking inside of you for you to get into the game. And it's probably because your blood pressure is high. Some have said that this could be a self-preservatory effect, because when your blood pressure is poorly controlled, your risk of developing a stroke is very, very high. And one of the sure ways of developing a stroke is when you have an acute rise in your blood pressure when it's already poorly controlled and generally higher than normal. And if you were to have an orgasm, your blood pressure will definitely shoot up. So if your baseline is already above normal and it shoots up due to orgasm, well, guess who will be dying on top of the well, guess who will not be seen the next day? And so in order to prevent you from developing a stroke, that could probably be the reason why your libido has been lowered. And so if you want to get your groove back, you want to get your libido back, guess what? You need to control your blood pressure. And so all men who are hypertensive, I encourage you to take your beef medication so that you can get that blood pressure under control, so that we can all enjoy a great sex life. Very, very important. If this video has been beneficial to you, remember to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment so that the YouTube algorithm will show this video to another person who might benefit from this video as well. Thank you very much for being here. Leave your questions in the comment section and I'll address them as soon as possible. Have a fabulous time. Kelvin signing out.